Olá, aqui é a Hilden Elgayer, sou fundadora da ELO, um movimento para empoderar 1 milhão de jovens em todo o mundo em carreiras na área de impacto social e ambiental. Nós temos uma iniciativa chamada Mesa de Impacto e hoje nós estamos aqui na Universidade de Oxford e nós entrevistamos o ex-presidente da Colômbia, presidente Santos. Ele vai contar um pouco sobre a história dele como jornalista, economista e também vai falar um pouco da questão da espiritualidade para atingir os objetivos do desenvolvimento sustentável. Vamos lá.
Well, I'll tell you a story about the SDGs, which is a very interesting story. 2 young women in Colombia that used to work with the Ministry of Foreign Relations. One day came to my office and said, President Santos, we have a good idea for you to make a proposal to the world. The Millennium Goals are ending in the year 2015, and that was in the year 2011. I think you should propose to the world some new goals, but with 2 additional components. One, that developed countries should be responsible also, because the Millennium Goals are only for underdeveloped countries. And there is nothing more important today than the environment. So the environmental component must be present. And I thought it was a good idea. And I told them, you know that I only read memos that are maximum 3 pages, and said, we know, and they brought out the memo. And eventually we made the proposal in Brazil, in the Rio +20 summit. And it started the negotiations, how many goals, what goals, and ended up in becoming the world agenda, the SDGs, in the year 2015. The General Assembly of the United Nations, we voted unanimously to adopt that agenda. Well, in the meantime, I had gone to the indigenous peoples in a place in the north of Colombia called the Sierra Nevada, where the oldest, purest indigenous people, we call them our older brothers, live. And I had gone to them to ask for their permission to become presidents, something that they recognized as a gesture with them, and they really appreciated. And they said to me, and they gave me the stick that was the symbol of power. I said, we give it to you. You have to bring it back when you end your presidency. And we ask you to do 2 things. Make peace with the FARC, but also make peace with the environment. Mother Nature is mad. She's been very mistreated. And she is mad, and you will probably suffer the consequences. And a week later, the worst Niña phenomenon started in Colombia, and I had to administer floodings around the country for about 1.5 years, 2 years. Well, we maintain our contact, and I told them about the SDGs. And when we had the SDGs already as the agenda, I went back to them. And I said, what do you think? I went to say goodbye. I gave them the power stick back. And he said, we studied your SDGs. It's a good start, but you're lacking something very important. And I was surprised and said, what is it that you're lacking? And see, we don't see the spiritual aspect of the SDGs. If you really want to take care of Mother Nature, you have to have that spiritual connection with Mother Nature. You have to understand that the rivers have life, that the trees have life. That spiritual connection is necessary for the world to really understand and protect the environment. I thought it was a very, very strong and important element that they were telling me that we must work on that spiritual connection. And That can be done in many ways, among them in our education. I think if we really want to save the world from the consequences of climate change, we need to educate better and faster, especially young people. Recently, Italy decided that in their curriculum, every student has to have a lesson on climate change and sustainability. I think that would be a good thing also for the world.